What is your high school crush doing now? She's is married and has 2 beautiful children. We're Facebook friends and I enjoy seeing how her life is progressing and watching her kids grow up. A few minutes ago she was getting changed, but right now I can't tell. My binoculars can't see through walls, you know. Who isn't she doing? 3 kids with 3 different fathers and counting. Heard she went downhill in first year of uni. She went down a lot too. He just got out of jail for punching a baby. Ouch. Decaying. I had no idea what he's been up to, so I googled him and found out he died from brain cancer 5 years ago. That's pretty ducking depressing. Laying next to me in bed. Jkim de King lonely. He's over on the couch browsing Reddit on his phone. She is in bed next to some asshole. I'm glad I'm that asshole. I'm still in high school, so I'ma assume he's at home too. He's engaged to me, running his own business and working a full-time job. I ducking lucked out. We've lived next door to each other for more than 23 years. Always had a crush on each other. We finally got together 4 years back and things are perfect. Nothing. Most of the people from my town are brainwashed into staying. Get pregnant right out of HS. Married. Divorced. Drugs. Dead-end minimum wage jobs. Rinse repeat. Thank goodness I'm out of there. Giggling with her mom in the next room. She likes to have her mom over sometimes since I'm a tea company after years of marriage. Or she just loves her mom. It's sad I know, so I figured I'd reply. I creepily, pathetically, after getting home drunk the other night, took a trip down memory lane by MySpace, stalking pretty much everyone I used to know from my hometown. Including with first, my crush. She's graduated with her bachelor's degree, got married to the guy she left me for, has 2 kids and another one the way. They bought a 200k house. She drives a BMW. I'm the same age. Just got out of a long-term relationship. No children. I attended community college, changed majors 6 times. Still haven't even got my 2-year degree. I bought a house. Long story. That turned into a nightmare. I'm crippled by debt. Still driving the same car as I did in high school, which is barely hanging on by a wing and a prayer. The comparison makes me want to kill myself. But I know this is just a down period in my life and it's really not fair to compare myself to others. Life is life. It's not fair, or just, or anything in between. Life just is. All I can do is try to improve myself, learn from my mistakes, and not spend so much time thinking about what other people have. At least that's what I keep telling myself. My high school crush was Ariana Grande sized, but her mother was just plain grand. It's been 20 years and I've seen some Facebook pics. Let's just say she turned out like her mama. Nursing our 7-month-old child, 15 years after we started dating during sophomore year of high school. She's sitting next to me eating popcorn and making funny faces every time I look up at her, just being her usual cute self. We started dating senior year, and 4 years later she's still the only girl for me. Working at the Church of Scientology. It's weird. She's totally normal other than that. He just texted me and told me to comment here, which means he's at his house on Reddit. We reunited in college and have been together for just over a year now. Engaged and happy as duck. There's no way we would have been as good as those two, so I'm happy for her. Showering as I look through her window. One day you will be mine, Linda. Beats me, but I did see her years after high school, where she had shot me down hard. I ran into her at the store where she was working. I looked ridiculously different and don't believe she recognized me by the way she hit on me. And I hardly recognized her by the horrific downturn she took after high school. One of the most satisfying days of my life. Don't know. Don't really care. I had bad tastes in high school. I have no idea. He's not on Facebook. I live 3 states from where I went to high school and no one there has heard anything about him. I wonder if he got into trouble with drugs. Successful mechanical engineer. Sleeping off jet lag in the next room while I'm playing video games. Just got our first apartment together this year and it couldn't be going any better. working as a manager at a fast food restaurant and then coming home to me so that we can spend the night eating Chinese takeout and doing the bedsheet tango. Taking a shower and coming to bed. We've been together almost 13 years this time around. Broke up after dating for 2 years in high school because they wanted to date a friend of mine. No hard feelings either. Just teen love, moving on. About 10 years later I saw their name on my caller ID and the rest is history. He's in a mental hospital. I feel like I dodged a bullet. Even though I feel really sad for his situation and his family. His family and mine are really close. So I get news on how he is. He doesn't have a diagnosis yet, but his symptoms kinda seem like schizophrenia or similar. He lost his touch with reality and has been slowly spiraling down for a while now. 10 years on, she is still living at home and working as a teacher's aide for her mom. It was very comforting to run into her one day and realize I've achieved much more in that time. But hey, she's probably happy with how things are, so I shouldn't judge. He's playing World of Warcraft while I browse Reddit in bed nearby. Dunno. Don't care. Most of the high school boyfriends have kids now though. I'm only 23. I'm a guy. I went to an all-guys high school. I didn't have a high school crush. Sleeping so we can wake up early to go snowboarding together. Well, not really a crush, but more than that. She's going to community college right now. We have only seen each other about 2 times in the past few years, but we used to be friends. Not just friends, really, but she was my childhood friend and best friend. Last year I told her that I have always had feelings for her and she just shot me down. I have been dying a little inside every day since then. She is sleeping in our bedroom as I am in the living room watching TV. We will be celebrating 5 years next month and have a daughter that just turned 1. He and his wife just had their first baby. His little one is adorable and he has an awesome wife. We're Facebook friends and catch up whenever we see each other. Sitting next to me on the couch. 16 years together. 8 married. He's still awesome. I'm not exactly sure, but I guess I'll find out soon. I heard from him today for the first time in years, and we made plans to go out for drinks. She's on vacation in Spain with the kids while I am stuck in town and heading to work on a Sunday. It'll be alright though. I go on 7 months paternity leave in about a month's time. Edit. Spelling. Taking care of her kids. Probably. She is currently my fiance, and we are very happy planning our wedding. Living with me. 20 years later. Less than 3. Life is good. She's sleeping peacefully next to me. She went to college, played field hockey for the college, and got her degree in sports management. She lives in New York and probably makes good money in sports management. She was one of my good friends and we did end up hooking up in high school. It didn't work out between us though. I'm actually glad she's doing well though. Don't have anything really bad to say about her. It didn't work out cause I cut things off before anything could develop. By that I mean I randomly cut all contact right after we started hooking up. She did some stuff to get back at me for that and I don't really blame her. She also probably hated me after that. Maybe still does. Successful and in a stable and positive relationship with another guy. We're still friends and this is actually the best possible thing that could have happened. She's getting ready to go to sleep right next to me. In her room wearing a white tank top. Laying in bed in the next room over. Probably fast asleep. I'll be joining her once I can drag my ass off here. He is married to one of my high school best friends and they are awesome together. I actually kind of wish they could adopt me because they seem like the coolest parents. I don't know if it counts, but we're getting married next year. I say I don't know if it counts because we've been best friends since we were 14, and throughout high school, we had other crushes and things. Sometime, about a year and a half ago, we were talking about it, and learned that we both had crushes on each other at different times. After that we went on a date, to see if there was any kind of potential there, and ever since we've been happy and wondering why it didn't happen sooner. Moved to Portland, Oregon or somewhere, dating a guy 10 years older than herself. No kids yet, that's all I know. About to be dancing next to Katy Perry at the halftime show. Still talk to the high school sweetheart. Don't hang out ever. Just catch up every couple months. Working in the hometown. Engaged. Nothing horrendous or extraordinary to report. I had too many bullet high school crushes. One is married. One isn't doing much to my knowledge, and the high school crush I went to prom with went back home. She was an exchange student. Yes, she did speak English. However, my college crush is currently my girlfriend and hopefully soon to be my wife. Two are married and finished with BA degrees. One is a single teacher. Another is still toiling in town with guys who aren't as smart as her. As usual, my first girlfriend is now growing wider. Another has a BA but a dead-end job. Finally, the last one is married with a kid. Score: 3 marriages, 1 kid, 4 degrees. Me: 1 marriage, 1 kid, 1 degree. For 2 years, I swung for the fences. I have no clue, and that's the way I want to keep it. Sitting next to me on the couch, waiting for me to start making tacos. He's in his nook playing a game called Smite and yelling at his brother on the mic. Probably putting on even more weight. Laying next to me in bed. I love her. She's a professional ballet dancer in NY. Her life is pretty much going the way she wanted. He's currently the starting catcher for a MLB team on the West Coast and rocking a pretty sweet beard. Been dating her for what will be 4 years on the 28th. Bloody hell, everyone in this thread is either the happiest or the saddest. Was I the only one who didn't have a HS crush? Preaching Bible verses on Facebook, she has really gone downhill. Well, her being a cheerleader and me being a kid that hosted LAN parties every weekend for Halo 3. Never thought anything would come from the social separation. Never really spoke to her in high school. 4 years later we both went even further routes away from each other. She was a student and I was an e-tech supervisor for a large oil field company. Thanks to a mutual friend we exchanged Snapchat information over Instagram. She sent me her number and now we are happily 1 year along. Before anyone says anything, she didn't know I worked in the oil field when we started talking. I still drive a 2001 Pontiac. Wasn't ever flashing a billfold at any time. Not getting stalked by me. Married her, 1 kid and another one on the way. Sleeping in our bedroom. I'll be joining her shortly. It's surprising to see how updated everyone is when it comes to their high school crushes. I forgot about every single person as soon as I graduated. I couldn't care less about their lives. Hell, I even moved to a different country. I don't even remember who my high school crush was. Did I even have a high school crush? TL. DR don't know. Don't care. Living with her boyfriend. The 3 of us were inseparable back in high school. Senior year they started dating and have been pretty happy the last 8 years. I live a few states away now and don't talk to them like I used to. But it's nice to see things working out. Sleeping. Though I accidentally woke her up by watching a video of a child screaming when his dog eats a frog. They're getting married in May. D. One of them is married with 2 beautiful kids. He was hit by an IED in Iraq nearly 10 years ago now. But according to everyone his sense of humor is still exactly him. Even if physically he's not the same. Still has shrapnel in his brain. The other one got married 2 weeks ago to a woman who is absolutely perfect for him. I couldn't be happier for them. He is now the proud owner of a V. And boy does he make a beautiful woman. She actually married my best friend. No bro code was broken as he seriously waited 7 years to ask her out once we split. She is literally the only ex I have that I am on good terms with after hating her guts for the first 4 years after we split up. Dating me. I'm a high schooler. He is a fireman. In 1955 he introduced me to an Elvis Presley guy he said was gonna be a huge hit. The record on a 45 was the flip side of Heartbreak Hotel. I think it was I Was the One. He kissed me while it played. My first kiss. Never a better kiss. My knees went weak. I still love him 60 years later. He had ducktails and rode a motorcycle. Was wild and I was a good girl. Probably working. Duck her though. Cheating cunt. Playing video games in the family room with our kids. Laying in the trunk of my car. Waiting for me to get home. Sorry for the anticlimax. Was seriously obsessed with her for several years and was apprehensive about googling her in case those feels came back. But I went ahead and googled. She and her wife are apparently pro-fat activists. I cannot thank you enough for making me google her. About to graduate university with an energy management degree and dating a girl about to graduate with a petroleum engineering degree. The girl is me or Aya. She dropped out of university right after changing her major from biomedical science to computer science. Now she's going to a local community college. The funny thing is, I did the exact same thing and now we're even going to the same college. Last contact via Facebook after a hard breakup. Admitted we liked each other in high school. Then he tried to show me his wee. Blocking occurred. It was crazy weird and awkward. Living the exact life she wanted to. Got married. Moved to the big city. New house. New car. Probably a kid in another year or two. If I'd killed him when I had a chance, I could be driving that car and living in that house. I'm sure of it. But something traumatic like that would probably change her as a person. Through and through. And could jeopardize the rest of the scheme. So it's a no-go. Maybe they'll divorce or something. Sigh.